everybody! Happy weekend! Happy Saturday! More days too, indeed. I'm so pumped, mainly because I'm back on console and I don't have to worry about OBS and my computer being a miserable combination. So I'm very happy. I'm way more comfortable on console. Console makes everything better. I don't care. I'm tired of pretending. Wait, hang on. What's the line from the Joker movie, the original one? Before, like, apparently the sequel's really bad. Anyway, I do think console's better, and I'm tired of pretending it isn't. It's true. But no. Yeah, apparently that sequel is really not good, which is really funny to me. Oh, hang on. Let me get music for our discussion, our opening discussion on every topic known to man except for Dark Souls 2 lore, which is usually how we start off the stream. What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a good weekend. Let me make sure I didn't set anything up. Marlo leaves immediately. My hater of a cat hates Dark Souls 2. P, also welcome back. Thank you for 17 months. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. What's up, Mr. Meechucks? Well, iced tea, mindless fudge. PC gamers and their mouses and keyboards and Excel spreadsheets and binaries and drivers and kernels and DLSS and S. What the I don't even know what half those are. Kernels? Like popcorn? What's up, Comrade Borg? No, for real though, I was thinking about it. I'm actually, so I really want to replay the Dragon Age series because the new one's coming out, the Veilguard, a terrible name again, in my opinion, but whatever. Why do so many things have bad names right now? Like I'm actually being such a hater today. We're ranting on things. Coat Guy, thank you so much for the Prime as well. Appreciate the support. Dang, is Nightbot asleep? Did I do the command wrong? Thank you so much. We love primers. Is it primer? Nightbot? Hang on, let me test something. Yo, Nightbot. Okay, I probably did it wrong. Coming in hot, PC Master Race in shambles. I should clarify my point before people, before the PC gamer crowd gets. I hate streaming PC games. Playing PC games I also hate, but I'm not trying to cause everyone frustration at this time. When I play, when I play a PC game, it's only marginally more annoying than playing on console, most of the time, unless the controller doesn't work. At which point, which is actually why I'm getting into my Dragon Age replay, it has no controller support. There's no freaking controller support for Dragon Age 1 and 2, AK Origins, whatever. So I'm basically sitting there being like, well, I guess I just wasted my money on Steam because I can't play that. What am I gonna play with mouse and keyboard for? You know? Utana, thank you so much for the gift of sub to Florian 60 Hertz. Florian. Yeah, I'm really bummed about that, to be honest. Because I realized, I was thinking about this. I used to play games on the computer, and I call them computer games because I was a child, and that was my first system was in fact a computer, and I used to play on the computer, and I was the ultimate gamer. I was so, except for the fact that I was terrified of all games, but I was a, you know, WASD and mouse gamer. I could do it just great. And then I accidentally spilled some water on my computer, and well, okay, my dad fixed it, but he wouldn't let me have it again, so I wasn't able to play, and then I went to consoles. Because, you know, well, those were my options. I didn't have computer games anymore. So I lost the ability, basically, is what I'm saying. Disappointed dad? Yeah. I put little flowers as decoration for the top of the PC on the top of the monitor. I would put little flowers on there and they had little bits of water, and I didn't think, I didn't know. I was a child. I didn't think about these things. Console and PC versions are actually vastly different. Wait, what do you mean vastly different? What do you mean vastly different? Also, controllers are way more ergonomic from what I've heard, mainly because mouse and keyboard, you really have to kind of hover a lot. Like, I know there's like rests and stuff, but I really do feel like controllers are more ergonomic generally. know. It feels like, you know when you're trying to write something with your non-dominant hand? I guess the folks who are ambidextrous can leave this conversation. It's like that same feeling. Also, Tivo, thank you so much for the resub as well. Your hair is cute. Thank you. I'm a little late today because I was waiting for it to dry. And then eventually I pulled out the blow dryer because it was like being forever. Anyway, thank you so much for 45 months and thank you for the tier 2. Welcome back, Tivo. Wait, are you serious, Pete? PC plays more like a zoomed out CRPG with a more strategic view, while consoles less zoomed in feels more action oriented. Okay, I was talking to somebody about this. I was saying that I remember Dragon Age being very, very active on console. Because I was commiserating about how am I gonna play? I can't do mouse keyboard. And they were like, no, it's like really easy. It's tactical and stuff. You won't, it's not like real time. And I'm like, no, it's very real time. I'm gonna have to react to things and stuff. Like, yeah, you can totally freeze the game and stuff from what I remember. But I remember most of the time I was just like fighting and stuff. And are you telling me it's because there's straight up different games? Okay, I'm getting my PS3 out. This is ridiculous. Joker was a standalone movie, didn't need a second film. That's really true. Less artists like Miyazaki don't force a sequel if they aren't feeling it. That's so true. That's why we have Dark Souls 2 and 3. Because they just hate I'm joking. I'm giving you a hard time. But no, you're absolutely right. Joker didn't need a sequel. I actually didn't really like the Joker movie, so I guess I'm not like the harmed party here. So, you know. Anyway, I'm actually so bummed. PC has things console doesn't. That's actually part of the thing too. I used to always have my console and there were things I didn't have access to and I was just kind of sad about it. What are you gonna do? So, but like now what does PC have that console doesn't really? Mods, I guess? I don't even like mods. I don't use them. So, like I'm actually fine with that. Classic PC RPGs weren't prevalent on console, like how Fallout turned into a first-person game. Really? Huh. Well, that actually explains it. I'm curious if I'll notice a difference because it's been so long since I played Dragon Age. That's part of the reason I wasn't planning to stream Dragon Age. I was just going to play it my own time because I think it's going to be a nightmare for me. Like, I think I'm going to cry playing on mouse keyboard. I can't do it. It's like I said, like writing with your non-dominant hand. It just, you can't focus on what you're writing. You're instead trying to figure out how to move the muscles good. It's really weird. That's it, I'm breaking out the PS2 Slim. That game is beefy? Well, Inquisition's like the worst one though. I'm so glad that we now get a direct sequel to it with Dragon Age the Veilguard. I'm so happy that the worst game is getting a sequel. It's okay, you know, it happens. It's still a good game, it's just like the worst of the three of them. Thought it would be now that I'm watching someone play past the opening dozen hours. Okay, here's how I will talk about Inquisition. I think that it's a lot like Final Fantasy XIV for one specific thing. I am not the biggest fan of Final Fantasy XIV. It's a typical MMO. There's a lot of fetch quests. There's a lot of talk to this person and and then run over here and then run over here and then run over here and talking to people. And then beyond all the MMO like fetch quest nonsense, garbage, waste of time bullshit, there is a really good story there. Final Fantasy XIV has a very heart-wrenching story. It's really good. It's so good. But when you're thinking about it, you don't sit there and think, God, I hated the 20 hours of fetch quests in this one, you know, section. You think of, man, that story, the cohesive full story, comes together and all the garbage is dropped out. You just don't think about it. If you ask someone what they think about with Final Fantasy XIV, they'll probably be like, oh my God, that story. This moment, mind-blowing. They won't say, well, I remember having to catch rabbits for this stupid main quest for 6 hours. They won't talk about that because it's forgotten over time. Inquisition has a lot of really good stuff in it. Cool characters, interesting dialogue, really in-depth things. Like, you know, the usual choices that you can like talk to characters and things happen and whatnot. And then, what's going on? Did you just discover emojis over there, YouTube chat? Anyway, Inquisition is like quite possibly the worst open world ever. It's just your typical open world was big at the time, so they made it an open world game. It didn't need to be. It was It's just literally checkmark list of BS you gotta do in the open world. But like the dialogue and the stories and like the characters, that was neat. That was always neat. Has always been their strong point. So basically, yeah, God, Inquisition. Warrior of Light's early intern days fetching things for all the people of Eorzea. But even the later, I'm not even talking about Eorzea, I'm talking about like even Shadowbringers. When I was playing Shadowbringers, it was like, go here and then like talk to these people and then can you bring them some soup? And it's like, bro, like instead of the main story, you know, like we have to help these people fix a minecart and it's relevant. But it's like, ugh. Dragon Age was the worst by far. You know what's really funny? I actually didn't realize that people didn't like Dragon Age 2 until later. That one's my favorite one. I played through that like 3 times in a row. In a complete row. Did you do Valheim on console? No, that's true. But I didn't realize that game was so incomplete when I played it, so... Being sour on it in comparison to Origins, for sure, because it went from this really broad game where you can choose your origin to kind of putting you into this one town and this one body. But what was really, really, really cool about it, and this is what I think people didn't appreciate about it, which, you know, I know inevitably when we talk about Dragon Age 2, it's like, it went through development hell and it's half the game it would have been. Yeah, sound familiar? It sounds like Dark Souls 2. Yet in its way, I still really liked it. I was super attached to the game. What I really liked about it was you play as Hawke in Kirkwall, and Kirkwall is your hometown, and the game takes place over a period of years, and you sort of grow within the town. Your status changes, your home changes, your circumstances change, but you're always living in Kirkwall throughout the 3 acts. And I loved it because it really felt like what you do makes a difference versus Inquisition and Dragon Age Origins. It's very much like, yeah, what you do makes a difference, but then you fuck off and go back to where you came from and you go somewhere else. So if you cause a shitstorm, you're leaving that shitstorm behind and other less important people can deal with it, not you. In Kirkwall, in Dragon Age 2, that is your shitstorm. That is your hometown. It's very personal. And I think that that was what attached me so much to it, because I was sitting there like, first we, you know, come to this town under these circumstances, and then it ends up here. And it's like, how do we get here? And you follow the strings and it all makes perfect sense. I found that very evocative. Did I miss being able to pick my character and origin? Yeah, for sure. But like for me, the sacrifice is worth it. So DA2 just reused the same areas over and over and was a downgrade in graphics, but that's kind of the point, is we were in Kirkwall the whole time. It did reuse a lot of things. Origins also did that. It's just because there was more areas, I think that's why. But then you get the complete, like the problem is people disliked 2 and they're like, oh, I hate reusing the same areas. Can we stop reusing the same areas? And then what they did was they made Inquisition, and they made it the most bland, horrific open world ever. They overcorrected. So like, I would have much preferred Return to, I don't care if I'm seeing the same alleyway 50 times in a playthrough. I'd rather that than that awful, horrific open world where it's just like, there's a question mark over here, and one over here, and one over here, and one over here, and one over, and you're like, I'm dying. So anyway, that's what I thought was so interesting about it. It kind of puts you into a smaller role, but that role grows, and that's so interesting. Like it's one of those like, we started from the bottom, now we're here moments. It was so neat. A lot of people are much softer on DA2 nowadays. Yeah, I liked it from the moment I played it. Same cave over and over where you are on the map did get annoying. I actually much prefer that to the open world though. Like so much. Am I the only one who, like, I think when I think of, oh my god, I hate open worlds, the world that comes to my mind is Inquisition. It's part of the reason I, despite being a huge Dragon Age fan, I soured on the series because of Inquisition. And I still liked Inquisition. I didn't love it. And part of it is that soulless, needless open world. DS2 is like pineapple pizza. People shit on it because it's popular to do it, then they secretly love it. I think some people just don't like pineapple on pizza, but I'm kind of with you. Inquisition is daunting to play because of that. It is. And the thing is, you can just be like, yeah, just like ignore the stuff. But like, it's really hard to ignore. The whole game is that stuff, you know? Not like in the zone-based stuff in Inquisition. It was a product of its time. Some people really, really, like, I cannot overstate. I think back on that era, and that was like the era of open worlds. Everything needed to be open world at that time. Everything. So, you know, the complaint about DA Origins did have the same complaint of the repeating areas. It absolutely did. I remember it. But there were fewer areas in 2. As a result, it felt more repetitive. So don't get me wrong. It was worsened in 2 by far. But they still had the, we're in a town, here it is area. We're in a forest, here it is area, right? So, like, with like minor cosmetic changes. So Inquisition was like, why don't we just completely overcorrect and make it open world? And it's like, you should have done that. Ugh. There is a greater evil pineapple on pizza and, wait, strawberry and kiwi on pizza? I don't want to unite against anybody. Why not just like let people put what they want on pizza? The second person react to the threshold, kids? Yo, it's control time. VR games, that's still largely PC. When are we getting VR support? I have no interest in VR games. They hurt my eyes and make me really motion sick, so. Offline MMO fetch quest simulator is how I describe DAI design principles. Yeah, it totally is that concept. Like, I love pineapple on pizza. I also love blueberry pierogi. They're really based. When will you make a VR chat for the Discord? Never. I'll get motion sick just looking at it. My half Italian blood is boiling. Listen, I don't really understand why pizza is the one that like upsets people so much. You know what I mean? Like, I understand that the concept of like food purity, but you know how like tomatoes are heavily associated with Italy, like a lot of Italian food is tomatoes. Well, tomatoes were only introduced, like tomatoes aren't native. They were introduced really late, but yet it's still like they took this food that at the time was new and they made it like a huge part of Italian food culture. Things like adapt, you know? Tomato is a fruit just like pineapple? Chaotic but true. Blueberry pierogi are normal. Is that weird in America? I mean, in North America, probably. People don't know very much about pierogi. My grandma makes blueberry and strawberry pierogi, but you could argue that that's a salty food, so it's weird. It isn't. It's actually really normal dessert pierogi for breakfast. Until I saw peas on a pizza? Like, why does peas on a pizza pop? That doesn't sound good to me. But like, I'm good. I just won't. I would actually try that. But like, I don't know if I would like it. Veilguard looks like it will be an epileptic seizure waiting to happen. Why? Is it bright? Is it flashy? I've only ever had savory filling pierogi. Yeah, it's a little harder to find dessert pierogi. Like I said, my grandma would normally make them, right? Like, they're very normal, really, but they're like, if you talk about pierogi in North America, you will probably find like only savory. So people see pictures of people making gross pizzas for content on social media, instantly think it's a real thing, and media literacy is an all-time low. Yeah, there's a lot more people out there who are like making things just to rile up the internet these days. Way flashy in all the combat demos? Really, I haven't seen that much of it. Spell effect overload? I've seen only a little, admittedly, of it, but it doesn't look to me like any more flashy than much else. Hang on one second, just checking something, I'm curious. What? Strange. Okay. Okay. What's the best pre-made that I could buy in a store pierogi? I don't know, because I'm about to say something heretical. I don't really like pierogi that much. I don't really get them. I only have them at family dinners. And the ones that I have, they're made by like a local grandma. we get them from her. And I like them there, but I don't really like them. So... I don't think it's that flashy. I don't think it's that flashy compared to other things. Fought post-nerf final boss of Shadow of the Erdtree? No, I don't really want to. Would you recommend Control? So far, so good. Aren't pierogi just gyoza? No, very different. Completely different style. Different ingredients. Pierogi are soft, while gyoza are... Well, to be fair, there are different forms of gyoza. But traditionally, from what I've mostly seen, gyoza tends to be fried. You can fry pierogi, but most of the time they're soft. Name a Polish food that's not beige. Polish food is very beige, it's true. But I always find it very like earthy and hearty, like very satisfying food. However, also, borscht, how's that? How's that for beige? Anyway, you're saying you're a pierogi dealer? Yeah. I mean, like, that's I don't know, like, a lot of foods are similar to in other, you know, but pierogi are just different. They tend to be filled with cheese. Gyoza, Japanese food doesn't really use cheese. They don't really use any milk products. I know that they sometimes do, but generally, not a lot of milk products in Japanese food. Polish people fucking love cheese. The double birds and borscht goes insanely hard. I had to, couldn't resist. Is borscht not pan-Slavic? Okay, yeah, but like we all share. It's called being neighborly. Also, you want to know one of the most popular types of pierogi? They're called ruskie, which means Russian. The Russians stole it from Poland. We still apparently call it ruskie now, but it's the most traditional form. It's the cottage cheese and potato filling with a bit of cranberry jam with it, and that the style is called ruskie. It's originally Polish. It's a very complicated section of the world. I said words wrong. It's like gyoza if gyoza was good. Listen, we can like other things. Yo, gyoza's good, pierogi are fine. I like pierogi. I just don't really like, I don't know, I don't like the soft dumplings, I guess. I tend to avoid soft dumplings generally. Pizza made with goat cheese and mozzarella with a balsamic and honey drizzle with strawberries is something many people should try. I would instead have goat cheese, mozzarella, balsamic, and some arugula. I would avoid the sweet. Asian equivalent to pierogi would probably be bao. Bao can have filling. I don't know that I would relate the two though. Pierogi tends to be a pretty fine coating versus bao. I always felt, well, some bao is pretty filled. I don't know. Arugula, fancy? It's not that fancy, it's just a green leaf. Cultured? I mean, I'm just a child of immigrants. I ate different food. There are a cajillion kinds of dumplings in the world. Yeah, like, there's only so many different ways to prepare food. A lot of places. So, for example, schnitzel and sauerkraut are considered very German foods. But there's a lot of recipes for what we would call sauerkraut in Polish food. It's just pickled cabbage. Kapusta. We have tons of different salads using cabbage because if you live in a place that gets cold, you need to preserve things for over the winter. Cabbage is a huge contender, especially when it's pickled, incredibly healthy, full of nutrients, good vitamin C to help you have some sort of vegetables over the winter. Even Japan has schnitzel, tonkatsu. Yeah, exactly. German stole it for real, for real. I really don't know like the food history. What I do know is that, you know, you would call it, okay, I'm explaining, when I'm trying to tell someone one of my most common dinners growing up that my mom would make, I would just explain, it's sort of like schnitzel and sauerkraut. And they'd be like, so you're German? I'd be like, no, we're Polish. It's just easier for me to explain that to you because you'll know what that is. But if I say, kotlety schabowe albo mielone, you know, kapusta, you'd be like, huh? What the? Bless you. So I'm just explaining it in a way that people can get. Not to mention the pickling food is an excellent self-defense weapon against intruders. Oh my god. You ever smelled pickles that weren't pickled right? Ugh, stinky. The thing is, even if you pickle it right, sometimes it just doesn't turn out. Pinky in the air, I'll take some arugula. Weeds, it's weeds. Might as well order kale. Don't you dare say arugula and kale in the same sentence. You heathen. You're banned. Sometimes the pickles are stinky but yummy. No, I'm talking about when the pickling process didn't work and the pickles have rotted within the jar and it's opened and you need to get rid of it and it's bad. It's bad. Kimchi is also an altered slightly sauerkraut. Kimchi is the best thing on the planet. I fucking love kimchi because it's spicy. We don't have red peppers in Poland, so they make do. So arugula and kale is where you draw the line? No, they can't be related, okay? Kale is chewy nightmare food, and arugula is nice. Anyway, Mega Snake, thank you so much for the prime as well. I actually don't mind kale, but like, I used to make kale chips. But you don't relate it in the same sentence as arugula. Wheatgrass? Don't talk me about wheatgrass. I'm on my wheatgrass kick. No, I'm not, but I used to be. Welcome in, thank you so much for the prime. Was it the kotlety schabowe? Is that what did it? When you pickle cucumbers, but the process barely started, ogórki małosolne. Oh, I see. I'm a weird Polish person. I'm born in Canada, so like I'm not Polish enough for the Polish people, and then I'm not Canadian enough because I eat weird food. You know, it's a typical immigrant child behavior. Anyway, I'm a bad Polish person because I don't really like ogórki that much. I need the kotleta schabowa. It's schabowa. I don't even know how to spell kotleta schabowe. Now that I think about it. It just means cutlet. Isn't that funny? Kotleta? It's cutlet. You'll never guess what it means. It's like the same word. Fighting sin today? Yeah, once we get off of food discourse, absolutely. But no, kimchi is pickled cabbage, but the difference is it's pickled with like fish sauce, which is why it's not vegan. But it is vegetarian. But then again, it's only vegetarian if you eat fish. You know, on that line. Anyway, but also red peppers. You did not get on a wheatgrass kick? Okay, it was like a decade ago. Get over it. Patiently waiting for the cooking stream. I'll do like a making brownies stream sometime. Once I get my cameras all set up. But no, anyway, kimchi is so good because of the pepper, like the hot pepper in it. It's so good. They use the pepper for the pickling process. I like sauerkraut, like Polish style sauerkraut, just fine. But like stinky. Then again, kimchi's kind of stinky. A lot of foods are very stinky. Never did get the food sponsor cooking stream. No, they told me that I could do a cooking stream, and I was like, what if I don't? And they were like, you can still do the sponsor. And I was like, okay, thank you. I will not be doing a cooking stream. What do you mean Gochujang can F off? What? Dude, I'm gonna ban everyone in my chat right now. Vegetarian if you eat fish. I wish there was a word for that. It's pescatarian. It's just, you know, some vegetarians just go by vegetarian because when you get into pescatarian, people are like, what's that mean? It's a whole thing. Stinkier the cheese, the better. No, some food is just stinky. It's totally fine that food is stinky. It's just no one owns stinky food. I once told my mom because she was complaining about like food that I made being stinky. She was like, ugh, open the windows when you're cooking that. It's so stinky. And I'm like, I will not hear this from someone who cooks with cabbage regularly. And she's like, cabbage doesn't smell bad. And I'm like, Mom, it smells like farts. Be honest with yourself, okay? That food is stinky. It's still delicious, but it's stinky. Almost like the food that I prepared. You're just used to it. Cabbage really do be stinky though. Fish is meat? Last time we cooked a cabbage, the surgeon thought someone had a perforated bowel. It's just stinky. I have a weird relation with kimchi. I will open a fresh jar and love it, then try it the next day, and I just can't. It stinks. But that's like part of it. That's like... It's supposed to be a little stinky. It's pickled. I don't know how to explain it. It's just... It's like blue cheese. Blue cheese is really stinky. I went outside the other day and it smelled like blue cheese in the air, and I'm like, wow, this is really stinky. Like, why does it smell outside? It was really strange. And then I was like, but I like when cheese smells like that, but I don't like when the regular air smells like that because it's strange. Apparently people think Hershey's chocolate smells vomity. Oh my god, it totally does. The C. diff kimchi? What does that mean? Anything is kimchi if you're brave enough? No, I feel like kimchi has like a defined definition. I don't think that's true, actually. I don't know. I feel like the pineapple pizza discourse really advanced this place. Explain the C. diff to her? Oh, well, now I know it's an illness. Is that the infection that you get where your tummy hurts real bad? Is it one of the food-based pathogens? Wow, how come you didn't get banned for the link? Nightbot, what are you doing? Why are you banning people? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm glad, but I feel like my Nightbot is not doing so good. Clostridium difficile, a bacteria related to Botulium and tetani. Very bad infection, often from inappropriate antibiotics. Can lead to... I'm hungry, I'll just talk about food. Can't relate, I had a really good dinner today. I know I'm just not a cabbage enjoyer. That's understandable. Famously sends medical personnel running from exam rooms. Oh no. From inappropriate antibiotics. I'm never getting sick again. I destroyed my nose with formaldehyde at one of my old jobs. That's actually, I feel like a buff in your field. But like, what if you need to smell something? Like, what if you're having like a Dr. House moment and you need to diagnose something via nose? Cabbage enjoyer is like jumbo shrimp? What? Food will never taste the same. Also, yeah, doesn't that cause that? Oh, I understand. It's when you take antibiotics when you don't need them. Okay, okay. Vince Vaughn is Polish? I think he's Polish background, yeah. Isn't he like half Polish? I tend to know everyone, every celebrity who is vaguely Polish or vaguely related because like Polish people keep track of these things, you know what I mean? Cabbage enjoyer is like jumbo shrimp. Oh, I get it. I get it now. Hey, I like cabbage. How dare you? Oh, I understand. Offended. Imagine there being a pole sense or a pole network. There very much is. Yeah, no, like absolutely. Like Polish people like know each other. And if you ever like need anything, you can like contact the Polish network. It's true. Like that's where, you know, my family, we have the grandma dealer. You know? I was working on an essay. Well, I'm glad you got it done. At least I'm hoping you did. Are you free? Congrats on finishing your essay. I hope you you did. Anytime a surname ends with ski, listen, sort of, kind of, but we know better. If anyone's making a joke of, haha, I don't know how to say that name, there's too many consonants in it, I'm like, I'm listening. English degree essay PTSD? I did my best work an hour before my classes. I still remember the time that I didn't finish an essay where they would be like, it was submitted that day and I didn't start it. So I skipped that class because it was at like 8 a.m. and the due date online was 3. Like I could submit it on the software until 3. So I skipped class and I wrote it in the library and then I submitted it that day and got like a fucking like 90 or something. And I was like, sup. Too many consonants, LOL, go to Wales. Wales does intimidate me, but mainly because I don't know the, like, how the letters be. You know, like, I honestly think Polish is a very... Some of the pronunciation is pretty bonkers, but really, once you know what all the letters do, it's not that complicated. It reads exactly the way that is written, unlike English, which is absurd and nonsensical. Polish is like, hey, when you see these letters, they make this sound. It's not like sometimes the letters make this sound and sometimes this sound and sometimes it makes this sound for no reason at all. You know, like English is completely like, how do you fucking English, you know? So true, Tana. He's not? Oh, update Vince Vaughn. He's not in the network. He's kicked out of the Polish network. It's true. Not done yet, but I decided I'd rather procrastinate till tomorrow and see what Raph was doing. Hell yeah, we're doing some Dark Souls 2ing. Vastly unserious language. Wait, Dutch? What's wrong with that? In Welsh, letters bear no resemblance to the way it's pronounced? Oh, well, I don't know anything about Welsh. English sucks? I don't think English sucks. English is the greatest language of all. I love English, dude. I love it. It's just really weird. That's all. Isn't Lady Maria supposed to be Welsh? No, I think you're thinking of Ronnie. I don't think Lady Maria is Welsh at all. Her accent is not at all Welsh. The Welsh talk so joyfully. They have such a joyful accent. Ronnie is a Peaky Blinder? I haven't seen Peaky Blinders. Is it good? Oh, that's so true. English not having grammatical gender is like its best feature. Bastiodon plush just arrived? Nice! Show plush. W is silent and is pronounced with a V. So the thing is, the W isn't silent, though. Like, I'm not trying to backseat how to say your name. But, like, if you pronounce it, then it's not silent. It's just a V. Yeah, the W is a V. Polish doesn't have the V. Oh, you're saying in English. Oh, dude, I feel you. I have 2 different name pronunciations for, like, both my names. All my names. Every name I have. I've had people who hear my name said in a Polish accent be like, and I'm like, why are you laughing at my name? That's just like my name. It's just you guys say it funny. So I, like, adapt to the English language. You know? Like, in the Polish, the names in the Witcher verse are Ciri and Geralt. But when I'm talking about them, I'm just gonna say like Geralt and Ciri. But like I'm not gonna be like, but that's because those are their names, dude. But everyone in English is like Geralt. His name is Geralt, and I'm like, ugh, God, it sounds terrible in English. But that's, you just gotta adapt for the folks who only speak English, man. Witcher names are not Welsh? Which ones are you thinking of? Oh, are you thinking of Gwyn Blythe? Yeah, so the, are they the Druids? The Druids or something? There are characters in the story who speak Welsh, and I think the elves are supposed to be, like, derived from Welsh or something. So their nickname for Geralt is Gwyn Blythe, which is White Wolf. So there is, like, Welsh in it. But generally is Polish. Most of the names are Polish. Like Geralt and Ciri and Yennefer. It isn't mine, it's for my partner's birthday, but I'm the one who usually ends up with the plushies based. Geraldo de Rivia. Yeah. A new Witcher book has been finished. Really? Is this real? Is this misinformation on the internet? You think someone would do that? Just lie on the internet? I'm so excited. Plushies are shockingly addictive? No, they're not at all addictive. Do you see all the blurs behind me? You're safe. What's the Polish word for dandelion? So in Polish, his name is Jaskier. Jaskier translates in English to buttercup. It's a flower. They're both flowers. But because buttercup, they were just like, that's a weird name. So they just changed it to dandelion, which is also a yellow flower. But yeah, Jaskier, way more badass. Clean the lens? No. Imagine having to blur an entire background to hide one's addiction. No, it's for artistry. Jaskier, Jaskier. Jaskier. So in Polish, we don't have V, we have W, which makes the V sound, and our W sounds are made with an L with a line through it called a wy, because it makes the wy sound. Very easy. Like once you know that, and then the J sound is a Y sound. Where do you get the J sound, you might ask? Well, from a DZ. J. That's just how it makes really, really, really clear sense once you know the rules. I don't need help, I just need more plushies. I'm trying to achieve plush peace. My artistic take is poor vision. Okay, but like, how good does this look? It looks so sick. It's like, woo, yeah. Plush enlightenment, please. Yeah, just need a few more plushies, and then I'll be satisfied. I just need a few more. Dude, yeah, Jaskier is such a good name. Seriously, it's just a flower name. Nerplusha. So is your name actually pronounced Vraf? Oh god, that's a good question. This is why. No, Vraf is not a Polish name. Dandelion is such a cool character. I don't know that I would describe him as a cool character, but I really like him as a character. He's very funny. It does look good. Defeated tone. Oh, I win. Vraf. Yeah, Vraf. Yeah, certain names just don't, like, I don't know. Not every word fits in every language. You just kind of make do. This conversation did get really off the rails really quickly. Oh, yeah. No, Polish also has grammatical gender. I was telling the story a few streams ago when, I don't remember what I said now. I said a word that technically means oh god, what was it? This is a problem. I can't remember what it was. It was just a word that like I said I went somewhere, but the word I used is only for men, so that, you know, I had to use the word that means gender neutral, so it's a man and a woman, and I was like, no, fuck that, I'm just using the man word, I don't care. Like, grammatical gender is so stupid. Poszedłem? No, poszedłem is easy, because you just be like poszad, like that, it's a specific word. It was like two. I was like, we went somewhere or something. It was weeks ago now, so I don't remember. Like, grammatical gender is one thing, but it's specifically a word that just means one thing. It's so dumb. Grammatical gender is so dumb. Why not more control? Because I alternate games. You know what? This is actually really exciting for me, because I just realized maybe a lot of folks, they don't remember I used to alternate games because it's been so long ago. I usually play games back and forth when I'm playing more than one game at a time. Then I alternate, yeah. And you go somewhere, but you accidentally go there masculinely, so you need to wear combat boots and flannel. Yeah, it was something like that. I don't remember what it was, though. I just remember I was talking to my family, and I used a word, and they're like, they corrected me, and I'm like, why is that word wrong? And they're like, well, because it means two men went somewhere or something. And I was like, oh my fucking god, fuck that. Language shapes thinking dramatically, influences storytelling and culture. It's more important than most people give credit. No, absolutely. It sure is. It's really key. It's just the way that language has evolved, you know? Like, I don't really know the exact rules for it, but like, it's really dumb. Really. I only, like, an example would be in Japan, use the I, like when you say I, it's watashi, and if you say boku is only for men, but sometimes women will use it, but like it's only for men. And it's like, everyone can use watashi though. It's like, who cares? This is weird. It's nonsensical. Have to study. I wish all a happy stream. Oh man, but we're studying food and lore. Bummer. Thanks so much for the super chat, Quaither. Good luck with your studying. Orewa. Orewa. What's ore? Anyway, I know we're talking about languages again, but it is English only. So like, let's stop the other languages now before. But pronounced the same way. Oh, really? I didn't know that, Otana. That's actually pretty interesting. I wish I could remember what the word was. Ugh, I'll have to ask my family if they remember. Wukong game? No, I'm good. I got too much to play right now. I'm too busy. I have like 15 games on my backlog. Like, I just don't really, you know? More I am. Oda. I thought Oda was like... Maybe I'm thinking of Koda. Ah, whatever. I'm learning Zulu. It's such a hard language. Interesting. Sekiro crying in the background. We're still gonna play Sekiro! So first of all, we have the Loreathon, which is still like Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, Sekiro, and Demon Souls. Yeah, we're actually making it really through it though. And then we also have like new games. It's suggesting it's closer to I'm. Oh. Oh, interesting. In Control, yeah, I'm talking about like the Loreathon and then new games. So the Loreathon is all the games I listed, and then new games would be like Control, for example, which is a new game because even though it's not new, it's new for me, you know? And then of course, you know, the games I've been talking about for a while. I talked about Control, I talked about Cyberpunk, I talked about Baldur's Gate, you know, games like that. I have so many games that I like to play on stream, so I'm actually really excited for Control. Like, I was so hooked on it. Other than the fact that it causes issues with my computer, I really want to play it more. It's just, you know, Loreathon time. Do you love the ping pong format? Yeah, no, I used to do this all the time. Like, when I was playing more than one game at a time, I'd kind of like alternate days or kind of just do whichever I felt like. So, you know, this isn't unusual. It's just, we've been doing the Loreathon for so long consistently that, you know, a lot of people are like, what happened to the other game? And I actually am very excited about that because like, this must be your first time watching me alternate. Quiz and Indie Tuesdays? Yeah, I don't like rules is the problem, even if they're my own. Planning to play Alan Wake 2? I think Alan Wake is too scary for me is the problem. I would like to, based on the vibes, but the vibes seem scarier. Outer Wilds playthrough edited on YouTube? No. No, it isn't. Currently addicted to the feeling of economic success in TCG card shops. Oh shit, you just totally reminded me. Rob gifted me that game and I totally forgot. I was on my phone and I have to accept it. I haven't been on Steam in days. There's an Outer Wilds playthrough I missed. Oh, that was like, I think 2 years ago-ish. We'll extend October until further notice. Okay, listen, I'll crowdsource some games that people like really want me to play, and then we'll do, but games that I don't necessarily want to play because I'm scared, and then we can see. We'll see. Silent Hill 2, there's lore, but it's scary. It's a scary game. If you can handle Control, I don't see Alan Wake 2 being that much scarier. Okay, but like, I don't know that I can handle Control. Control's been very scary for me so far. It's spooky. Where will this poll be and how can I cheat? I don't know, I just... Play Alan Wake 2 after Control, I will never ask anything of you ever again. Through a thematic tube at someone, you stop being scared? Because I could be... You don't understand. I can't be scared when I'm Silver the Hedgehog from Sonic 06. I love that game. I literally became... You don't understand. I've always wanted to play more Sonic 06. I love Sonic 06. Yeah, I would love to put Outer Wilds on YouTube. I really would. I keep thinking about that game. It's so good. I would really like to play Silent Hill 2, but the thing is, I'd probably play the original. I know the remake's coming out. I'm not even saying that I'm pro or for it. Like, I think it's a pretty old game, so it's like a good time for a remake. But I always like trying to play the original if I could. You know? I'm really optimistic. Like, I'm hoping that Bloober did a good job. So I'm hoping it'll be good. Remake is getting crazy reviews. Oh, that's actually really exciting. I was hoping it would be really, really good, but there's something about playing the original, right? The game that started it all, as they say. I like doing both. Until Dawn playthrough? Oh my god, yeah, Until Dawn. But okay, dude, these are such scary games. Like, they're scary. Wish I could play horror psychological games. Yeah, no, I feel you. That's why I like watching people play scary games. I struggle with playing them. I have to be really, really careful. Returnal, I've already played it. Yep. When I've played scary games, Be Brave, it's nothing to do with bravery. It's just like not worth it. You played Amori? Oh, I love Amori. Amori is so good. Couldn't get into the original because combat was too clunky. I have heard that. I also think it's like part of the struggle is you're supposed to feel like combat's clunky because you're supposed to just kind of be some random dingus who ends up in a horror name situation. Like when combat is smooth and you're effective at it, it's less scary. Right? So if you struggle with combat, it becomes scarier, which is part of the psychological horror. You've beaten Visage, you were desensitized. That took me 3 days, and I literally had nightmares every single night, and I couldn't sleep. It's delightful content, I'm sure, but that's just not... That was too scary. When playing it on stream, make it less scary? You would think. Far more about the plot and vibes than combat for its horror. Outer Wilds DLC scared me worse than most horror games do. Outer Wilds and its DLC are genuinely horrifying. Literally felt impossible to control. Wait, it was really that bad? Oh, that's really funny. Silent Hill 2 is kind of outdated by today's standards. Yeah, isn't it like fucking 25 years old? Not really. Hang on. Oh, I typed in Silent Hill 12. That's good. I just made up 25 years because I thought it was funny. It came out in 2001? Okay, I wasn't even that off. Bro, really? The game is 23 years old. On the dot. Because it's September. Wow, I was eerily close. No, seriously, that game is so old. Like, I would hope so. 2001? I hate playing scary games, but Alan Wake was 100% worth it. Yeah, but like, I'm like a scare baby. Omori wasn't too bad for me though. I love Omori. If you like psychological horror, try Omori. I love that game, such a delight. It's the type of game that doesn't look like a horror game, but is. And the thing, now I know that's not a genre that's unheard of, right? It's also very, very much inspired by Earthbound, and I have a massive soft spot for Earthbound. I haven't even played Earthbound, but I just am familiar with like the style of the game. And I actually would really love to play the whole Earthbound series. Anyway, whatever. Omori is a really effective horror game because it does the slow burn and you can forget that it's horror. And the sections of non-scary are so long that you will straight up forget multiple times that this is a scary game, and then suddenly it gets creepy. And I love that for it, because too many times when games are doing the, oh, it's actually secretly scary, they do the whole, haha, we're like Animal Crossing, but we eat people, and the twist happens in 5 minutes, and then it's horror from then on out. But the fact that the sections are so long and spread out, basically it benefits from being like a really, really long game. I adore Omori. So good. Remember playing Silent Hill 2 in high school and being scared? No one had cracked the code until Resident Evil 4. I see. I remember I played Resident Evil 4. The original was really good. Anyway, these are potential games for the future. We'll always go back to Souls, really. Like, I always play Souls. I don't go very long without playing one of the FromSoft titles, really. But honestly, it's been so long that I kind of, like, I do a lot of variety. I always have. It's funny that I'm known for Souls and Souls-likes, I guess, but I don't even necessarily like Souls-likes. I just like Souls. Like Happy Tree Friends? Happy Tree Friends is sort of what I'm talking about. That I would describe that more as straight up just gore and like, what, torture porn or something? Awful, awful stuff. But no, like the concept of it looks cute and isn't. Like Doki Doki Literature Club, that's a good example too, but Doki Doki's very short from what I've heard, right? It's like a typical visual novel, takes over like three days in game. It's really short. You know. Unpopular opinion is that I think Souls-like as a concept are vastly overrated now. I think they're very trendy and popular, and they have been for a while, but it's sort of reached critical mass because of Elden Ring, and I think we're going to see a lot. But the problem is, my argument is that a lot of Souls-likes don't really understand what makes Souls games good and what makes them so beloved. So they sort of can't nail the formula. And that's not to say they can't do their own thing. A lot of them do, but it's just like a lot of the time I'm sort of like, I'm not that interested in it because it's just, it has rolling and it's really hard. It doesn't have any lore. Also, MB, thank you so much for the resub. Welcome back. I have graduated to a DS2 appreciator. Yes. Thank you so much for 2 months. Welcome back. Enjoy your new butterfly. Only From Software makes them good. I don't think they're the only one. Don't get me wrong. I really liked Remnant from the Ashes, which is so-called Shooter Souls. That game is really fun. I really like Hollow Knight, which I very much consider a Souls-like because it has that vibe. I don't know. I think that, or Lives of P is another good example of a game that has sort of that like inspiration. But unfortunately, while really good, that game to me was way too much of copying homework sometimes, and to me that made it a little bit like it didn't feel like it had confidence in its own ideas, and thus I had to personally in my brain retract points from it, because I'm like, if you're not even confident in your own game and you're just drawing from something else, then like, you know, Souls-likes are just Metroidvanias in 3D. Not really though. Like Control is kind of a Metroidvania. You can't access certain things, and then you get, through story and through acquiring powers, you get the ability to. I think that's the key that makes a Metroidvania. Hollow Knight is totally by genre a Metroidvania, but it feels more like a Souls-like than anything else. See, Lies of P, where it's unique, like the coins, while I think were a bit weird, was a cool concept. The music and the collecting of it, really neat. The stuff that it did that was its own, very cool. Very cool, and it remains cool. The aesthetic, the vibe of it. Yeah, I don't know. Lords of the Fallen? Lords of the Fallen was good, but I feel like it couldn't stick the landing. I feel like a lot of Souls like can't stick the landing. But to be honest, arguably, a lot of people think that also Souls games get worse in the second half. So I guess games just struggle to stick the landing sometimes. We'll see. Weapon handle plus blade was neat. Yeah, very clearly inspired by transforming weapons from Bloodborne, but was so different nonetheless that it still made it feel very fresh. I liked it. Yeah, groundbreaking. I don't think it was groundbreaking, but still really fresh. And as long as basically, if you talk about Lies of P as a game, yay. But the moment you start talking about it in the same sentence as Bloodborne, just don't, for me, don't do that. Don't bother. Because you're just making the game look bad. Let's talk about it as its own separate thing. They're best to copy the formula. Yeah, the problem is, though, I would argue that most people are trying to copy the formula. And I think that if people were just like, let's just try to make a neat game. Yeah, basically exactly what you're saying. I agree. If they were like, why don't we just try to make something neat? It's been the trend of the last 2 years that people latch onto a Souls-like and find a thing in it to tout as the greatest thing and then forget all about it after 6 months. Yeah, to be fair, I think that's just like what's going on these days. People sort of, you know, a new game comes out and it's the greatest thing ever, and then people latch onto it and say it's like the best thing ever, and then, you know, it's forgotten in a few months because everything's very, same with like anime, same with new TV shows. It's always very like, you know, transient, I guess. Oh, you know how I said that Inquisition, when that came out like 10 years ago, everything had to be open world, probably because of Skyrim. And Skyrim sort of started like the everything must be open world trend. I think that's happening now with Souls-likes. Life is transient? Yes. But we take certain things forward with us. Souls games inspire a sense of curiosity from the environment to the items. It creates an internal dialogue of the lore and continues as you progress. Yeah, I think the best games inspire a sense of curiosity. It's sort of like when you play a game, what drives you forward? What makes you want to keep playing? Any game, story game, adventure game, Souls-like, Dark Souls, Hollow Knight, Persona 5. I'm playing all these games and I'm thinking about them. So like, what drives you forward? Well, part of it is the fact that you are liking the game. You want to know what happens next, right? In Persona, it's like almost entirely a story game. So you want to know what happens in the story. In Dark Souls, for me at least, it's very much this sense of curiosity. Like, yes, I would like to see what's in the next area, but I also have this like inherent curiosity of what's going on in the world. Skyrim and Oblivion, you're curious about the next quest, what's going to be in the next town, what's in the next cave. Like this sense of curiosity that pushes us forward is very key. And that's actually, for example, what I argue that Bethesda has lost lately. I think Bethesda forgot that their games inspire curiosity and that people want to explore them. They just turned it into like, well, obviously people are completionists. They want to fulfill a checklist. So now everything's a fucking checklist rather than the game inherently pushing you forward. And I think the juice, as you put it, that they lost. Yeah, I think it's curiosity. Dark Souls gave me dreams. Oh my God. I remember when I played the Elden Ring demo and I had dreams about it. Where do you go after Elden Ring, though? So people think that they have to keep making bigger and bigger, but I think they're just going to go back to like smaller games, just like they have been for a long time. Really. Starfield is menu clicks. Oh my God. You walk through a place and you just get 5 pings in your inventory that's like, or your journal. Hey, I heard a rumor. Oh my God. It's the worst. I think it's going to be a bit before they do another huge game like Elden Ring. Yeah, so Dark Souls 2, which we're going to play very soon, we're just having a good combo, is very much a game that it's huge. It's really big. And they then made Bloodborne, which is definitely one of their like tighter games, then Dark Souls 3, also very linear, then Sekiro, arguably even more linear. And then, after all those, Elden Ring. I forgot Sekiro. Well, no, I listed Sekiro. You know what I mean, though, right? Like, this has been their biggest game until Elden Ring in terms of scope and size and area and amount of stuff in it. So generally, they tend to make different games and they tend to go back and forth in their direction. Armored Core 6 DLC? Yeah. Yeah, beyond that, though, I'm talking about, like, potential next IP. I think don't expect a massive open world game again. That's going to take a while, if they're even planning to do that again. You don't even need to keep making things bigger and bigger and bigger. It's just... It's not really what they do. They just want to make good games. They're going to bring back parry in the next game? I mean, that's a fair guess, but they also... All the games have parrying? Like, I know what you're saying. You're saying it's not the same as, like, the Sekiro focus of parry. But they also made a game that was pure parrying. So if they made another game that was parry-focused, would that be fresh? Is it going to be an AC6 DLC? I don't know. I really don't know. They do, like, a weird thing with AC. They make, like, a whole separate game or something. Already made 2 Elden Rings, the DLC is almost as big as base game? Yeah. But parry could be something. It's just like, I don't know. Some of his crew from early on will start directing their own smaller IPs. Ooh. In 2024, things are expansions and DLC now. They won't make a whole new game, I feel. That's true, because if there was 4 and then there was 4 Answer, which was like its own separate game, but like, yeah, they might just do an expansion now. I don't know. Armored Core has always been a bit weird though, that's for sure. Elden Ring wasn't his perfect RPG yet? Yeah, obviously, because Radigan's in it. Like, nothing with that character can be perfect. On that note, now that I've inserted a Radigan roast into my feel good. All right, we're starting the game now. A DLC will be more successful. It's true. I think with Armored Core, they're really going to focus on their... I mean, they always focus on their Japan audience, though. Really, but more so with Armored Core because it's way more familiar to them. Oh, right, I forgot I got a huge sword. Let's go. We are literally exactly 70% equip load, which means we can barely by 0 point or 1 point... By 0.1% we can roll. Use a super parry or we riot? Then riot. Then riot.
You? Thank you.
I'll flip this bitch. Flip it. Miyazaki seems games as art, so he will never feel like any game is perfect. Exactly. Like, honestly, I would say the same thing. I don't think I'm as good as Miyazaki or anything, but like I definitely get that vibe of like creation. You can't ever create something perfect because if you achieve perfection, then what's the point of creating anymore? You're always building upon something else. Need Armored Core, but with lots of incest and feet? For fuck's sake, we already have Elden Ring. What do you want more Elden Ring for? Anyway, sorry, we're on this. This is the final boss of the DLC. You should pay attention. Oh god. Oh my god, I woke up the baby. Oh my god. Look at that effect. Fire into poison. Ow! He shoulder check? Oh my god, this is just like Monster Hunter for real. Wait, that hit me? Honestly, pretty accurate to my Monster Hunter experience as well, actually. This is just like Monster Hunter. Speed ran you? Yeah. 3-hit perfect combo, it's true. Also, I did forget about poison items, but like, nah, who cares? This soundtrack is so sick. Ah! Bonk. I asked you to be shorter. Fight fully. Uh-oh. Oh, God. Oh, right. It's probably loud as shit. I'm so sorry. For frame of reference, Dark Souls 2 goes at, like, about here. I had to raise it almost to max for control because that game's so fucking goddamn quiet. I think hitting the spear is a weak point? Really? I just honestly wanted to bonk him right on the dome. But you're right, I should hit the weak point. Yeah, so... Hey, that seems to do more damage for sure. You can see, this is the same dragon we saw when we came in here. Fun fact also, I've been trying to, but he moves a whole lot. You can actually break off Sin's tail. You don't get anything for it, but you can totally break it off. It's just like he moves a whole lot. Too quiet now? Damn it. I did not raise myself. I just raised the desktop audio. I just lowered it. Okay, I think it's about... Okay, there. Let's try that. Aw, damn it! God, he's really so quick. Look at his dinky little tiny eye. That's good? Okay, perfect. Thank you. What's your favorite FromSoft dragon? Midir from Dark Souls 3. I know. Something from Dark Souls 3 is my favorite. It's true, though. Extra hollow death voice with your super pretty character? Yeah. Still a bit low compared to you? Maybe I did raise myself, but no, I think I'm max, because I tend to talk quiet sometimes. I know. It's weird. Believe it or not. I should have written down what I put it at, but honestly, there was so much shit to fix with control. DS3 Best Souls, the only one where I didn't need to Google where to go? Yeah, because in Dark Souls 3, there's only one way to go, fucking forward. It's the most linear game of all time. It's the most, like, brain off, head empty, just hit forward on the control stick and you're set to go. Like, I fucking hope so. Like, same with Bloodborne. But the difference is Bloodborne's cool. Damn it! How are you human but hollow? There is a ring that you can wear that does this. It's called the Ring of the Dead. I'm trying to get to his tail. That's why I haven't really been attacking too much in all of these opportunities. I'm trying to hit the tail so I can try to break it off, but honestly, I just don't think it's gonna work. Sin is a really sick dragon, though. Oh, damn it. The people demand esoteric and nonsensical mechanics? Yeah! Like, Bloodborne still has nonsensical esoteric mechanics because of the freaking... Well, then again, Dark Souls 3 does have that one fucking ending. I love... Oh, no. I love how they designed a poisonous dragon. I love the green around his mouth and around the blood. How the fire becomes green. Damn it. Oh my god, it's mid-ear. I still can't hit the tail. Sin does fly a whole lot, though. It's a bit more acceptable than it was in Elden Ring, though, because, like, I don't know, it's just cool, I guess. I love that tail, too. Look at that, like, spiral design. Super cool looking. That is so quick, I don't think I can react to it with this weapon. No! You know what's really funny? I was having such... Oh my god, I actually love his face too. Super beautiful. His eye is very small. Sin, one of the worst bosses? Really? I really like him, honestly. I will say, I don't think he's anything to write home about or anything, but generally, like, I'm not the biggest fan of Calamite either, right? So, like, generally the dragon fights I don't love. I don't love Midir either. I just really like his design. Is the lore about the big stinger hanging out his left boob? Isn't it his right boob? So he got stabbed. You can actually see the spear sticking all the way through his body, but we'll get the lore from his soul, so... Damn, I mistimed it. Yeah, I was saying I was having such a good time with heavy weapons, and I was... Until, specifically, not Nadalia, Alana. Alana and Sin, they're kicking my ass because I'm using such a slow weapon. Uh-oh. Remember how I said that I'm not worried about poison? Well, I'm not. I'm worried about toxic, actually. I don't know. I just don't really love like the big fights with monsters in Souls until Bloodborne. Bloodborne is perfection. I don't know how they do it, really. It just feels so good to fight the big beasties. And even then, some people don't like the beast fights either. Do you do audio ducking? I don't know what that is. So I'm leaning toward probably not. Automating the game volume to be lower than your voice when you speak? No. What? No! My cheeks! We might struggle a bit with these heavy weapons. Fuck. Sin. Sin. Sin, no. No, no, no. Sin. Oh my god! Sin! Oh my god, okay. I lost track of the dragon. Ah! Listen, this is just like Elden Ring. It's all about positioning, baby. Oh, ah! Damn it. He's got a pig's tail? If a pig can stab you... It's like a cool AF spiral drill, thank you. Maybe Oswald of Katarina can help you? It is only human to commit a sin. I don't care, I will take that hit. I don't care. Now run. He's gonna do the headbutt. No, he's gonna do this. We're gonna run this way. And then he's gonna headbutt. Oh my god, I lost the dragon. I lost the dragon! Oh my god, my life flashed before my eyes. Why are you defending the poison dragon? I thought you'd know this about me, but I love toxic characters in video games. I keep forgetting that he crunches you with his whole thick-ass dragon body. I did. Honestly, fair trade. Problem is, I'm really starting to run low on healing, though. Ooh, oh my god. That was greedy. I'm dead. Oh my god! Hey, Sin? Can we talk? Sin, can we have a conversation? Sin? Come on, dude. I was running. I was running to the left, to the left. Just like Beyonce taught me. Fuck. Sort of in the same situation. Oh no, he running. Oh, I didn't even see that one coming. It's taking so long, I think the song restarted. Beautiful. Soul of Sin, the slumbering dragon. Left this stinky goo everywhere. Interesting. It's some sort of like green and red looking light. Hi to the best lore reader around. Oh, thank you. Mikola, how dare you? Here we go. Soul of Sin, the slumbering dragon. And yeah, we're going to leave that sound in the background. Soul of Sin, the dragon who sleeps in the lowermost depths of this land. The king erected a magnificent city, and the dragon slept soundly until Sir Jorg disturbed it with a single great strike, and the dragon could bear its store of poison no longer. The reign of death toppled the city, but restored the dragon's purity. The wondrous soul of this dragon can be used to acquire numerous souls or to create something of great worth. So Jorg did it, basically. Jorg woke him up by stabbing him through his whole body. And here is what's left of Jorg, from what we can tell. Here it is, Jorg's ring. Sometimes deflects spells. Ring of Sir Jorg, who sought the blood of a dragon and invaded Sholva, can deflect spells. When Sir Jorg faced Sin, the slumbering dragon, he drew blood with a flash of his steel, but Sin responded by spewing forth the poison that had long brewed within him, blanketing the city in a miasmic cloud. Wasn't leaking poison / toxic until it was stabbed either. Yeah, basically, if Jorg hadn't invaded the city, then it wouldn't have happened. But what's interesting too, right, the crown, here we go. What's interesting as well is if he maybe hadn't, the Sunken King hadn't like built his whole nation like around a slumbering dragon on purpose, then maybe, you know what I mean? Like everything the king did. Crown of the Sunken King who once ruled this land, the king erected the eternal sanctum below the earth to worship the great dragon, but the towering bulwark crumbled with the city shortly after the dragon's awakening. But these were events of long ago, and today no one even remembers the king's name. Jorg destroyed the entire city just because he wanted to hunt a dragon. What a dick. Jorg is definitely a dick here for sure. But what's interesting is that, you know, the dragon was worshipped, but it destroyed its worshippers. It's not necessarily the fault of the dragon, because the dragon is doing what the dragon does, but I don't know, isn't it kind of interesting? Maybe they should have picked something better to worship. I don't know. Volcano cult trope? Yeah! However, I gotta use the restroom, so I'll be right back, gamers, and then we'll continue, okay? One sec. Okay, hello. Song is something from Persona? It sure is. Exclamation mark song. Okay, so we can level up. I want to get the soul items as well, because I think we actually get Sir Jorg's spear from Sin's soul, if I remember right. Did anyone give the theory that Velstad is from Shulva? Yeah, I went over that because that's a reason that he gets summoned by her. Did I raise my own volume? This game is loud as shit. Hang on. It might have just been that bit of the song. It's so loud. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, Velstad lost his memory, but his whole thing is that he's very loyal to the king. The king, of course, being Vendrick, as far as we know, but it's possible that in fact, it's really likely he's from Shulva. That might also be why his soul is so corrupted, because he was linked to another Queen of the Dark. You know what? I think the game's still quieter than it was. Maybe here? Maybe there. Just like 1 decibel. Alright, do I want vitality? Do I want more strength? But also int so I can use more spells. Backstep agility? I'm resisting. I'm resisting agility. I think we're good now. What spell does Velstad give again? I don't think I got it. It's some nerdy spell. Hang on, let's go check. So we'll visit Strayed. Now we finish another DLC. We've gotten another crown. So we're up to 3 crowns total. We're missing 1, which also means we're getting into the next DLC, the final DLC.
Well, very, aren't you?
What is the best long but fairly fast weapon in DS2? I really like the Murakumo. I don't even remember if it's very fast. It's actually probably not, but I just really like it. His hammer would be worth it if only it donged every time like his does. Yeah, give us the dong, Miyazaki. Give us the dong. Sacred Oath. Yeah, you get Sacred Oath. An ancient miracle said to have been devised by warriors who once served the god of sun. Provides a temporary boost to the attack and defense of its caster and all nearby allies. Backstep having iframes is better than any other game in that regard. Yeah, I don't think the others even do that. Then again, I very rarely use backstep attacks, so. Alright, so this is actually new. This is linked to Nadalia. So the Sunken King DLC, Iron King DLC, Broom Tower. Nadalia is the spirit of, what was it? What did they say? Loneliness, independence, hang on. Shut up.
Well, this is a most twisted soul.
Shut up, Strayed.
Very good indeed.
Solitude, Augur of Solitude, that's the word. I was gonna say not independent. Yeah, it's expensive. So this is the culminating pyromancy. Also interesting that it's pyromancy, isn't it? A pyromancy of Nadalia, Bride of Ash. Not surprising because she uses them herself. Like her Ashen idols all use pyromancy, but it's really interesting that a Child of Dark is linked to pyromancy here. Personally, I think it's because her king was associated with fire. So that's sort of what she took on herself. And humans are capable of using pyromancy. That's sort of the thing. The Witch of Izalith was the originator of it and the whole fire sorcery thing. But humans use pyromancy because it's like pyromancy is an interplay of humans who are of the dark being allured by flame. So it's pretty interesting. A pyromancy of Nadalia, Bride of Ash, spouts multiple dark flames. This child of dark, bearing inconceivable strength, found herself in a kingless land devoid of souls, and in journeying there has all but condemned herself to a fate most wretched. Aww. Can you believe that people still think that all the queens are evil? Like, her whole lore is she went to a place and she was all alone, and then she haunted it forever. The end. Like, what's evil about that? Why the F did she go then? They didn't have texting back then. She didn't, like, text the Iron King and be like, hey, babe, are you alive? You know? But they're women! Yeah, apparently that's what, like, 90% of the fucking discourse gets down to, huh? It's so sad. Also, the spell is called Outcry. As if she's, like, you know, like a cry of, I don't know, pain, solitude, loneliness, whatever. It's a pretty, well, I say it's a cool spell. I don't think I've ever used it because I don't use spells. That's the thing, too, that's so interesting, is it was sort of their fate. It's sort of their fate to go where they went. Frustration. Could be frustration, but to be honest, when I hear an outcry, I think of dismay. That's the first word that comes to my mind. She cried out in... Could be frustration, absolutely, but I always think of dismay. Despair. Yep, absolutely. There's tons of different ways you can cry out, but like she went to a land where nothing was alive. She is an augur of solitude. She represented loneliness, and the sort of opposite of it is the want for human connection, because humans are social creatures. Even the most introverted introvert still wants people to interact with sometimes. Being alone, truly alone, is absolutely maddening to humans. It literally makes them go crazy. And that's sort of the fate that she like the dice she rolled, so to speak. Being alone is horrifying. Yeah, no, it really is. Like truly, completely and utterly alone. It's heartbreaking. It really is what happened to her. So really the only thing that happened to her is she was born, she traveled to this land, found it empty, and stayed there alone. She just wanted a warm hug. Yeah. She went to a place and died alone, so evil. Yeah, I guess the evil part is that she possessed it or something. Like, no one was there, dog.
Well, squatters are evil. What are they doing being poor? Why don't they just get a job?
Oh, I meant to visit, Ornifex. It's actually really sad what happened to the queens. Really, like all of them. If you think of how tragic they are, like love them or hate them, all their fates are really tragic. Nadalia was loneliness, and she ended up entirely alone. Solitude, ended up alone. Alsana was fear, and she ended up, well, also alone, waiting in terror for an inevitable fate. She was brave about it, like genuinely, but doesn't mean it wasn't terrifying. The thing too about Alsana, we'll get to this because we're about to meet her. She's our final queen. Why the fuck was that spider holding his Y-hander? You have 8 arms, not 2. Could you imagine if spiders dropped, I don't know how to say 8 in German. Dropped octanders? Solitude is not different than loneliness. It is, but the reason we can tell she was lonely is because of what she did. She wasn't like, wow, this is so sick, dude. My king's dead. Now I can be a bad bitch all on my own. Haha. And then sat on the throne. She went, I'm so sad. I'm literally gonna give up my flesh and die. Do you know what I mean? Honestly, I think she should have just girl bossed it. I'm gonna literally give up my flesh and everything I possess and just become a soul without a form. Because I'm so sad. Yeah, the word choice is a bit interesting, but the thing is, like, it's sort of their behavior. Because even a human who wants to be alone never wants to be alone all the time. Like I said, no matter how introverted an individual, they will go freaking crazy if you put them alone without anything or anyone else for years. I'm trying to get this guy to fall down. Even the most solitary person still craves, you know, a person. Humans are social beings? Yep. Oh my god, fall down. You're so annoying. Thanks for the red water. All right, we're free. Okay. Wow, it's so moody in here. I never noticed because I always bring the torch because of all the spiders. All right, so she was solitude and ended up alone. Alsana was fear and ended up constantly having to defend from an active threat that was always trying to overcome her. Basically living like a horror movie situation. Nishandra was want, and she ended up never satisfying that endless urge to possess. And Alana's is a little less poetic, because as discussed, her story is a little vague compared to the others. Really, that's the main thing. But for some reason, she basically got the dragon to, like, become poisonous. Probably to protect it, honestly. Knowing what we know about the king, the sunken king, he wanted to worship and protect the dragon. And she stays there, continually singing to the dragon, and as long as she sings, it stays asleep. So I think that's what's so interesting about it, is if she was just anger, then wouldn't she just like have like a slightly better plan than singing to a dragon to keep it asleep? Even she, who seems to be the most basic and simple, there's something interesting about that. Why does she just sing to the dragon? She keeps doing what the king apparently wanted, even long after he's gone. In fact, all of them do, except for Nidalia, who never met her king. The thing is, Alana isn't even poisonous. It's the dragon who is. All right. Here we go. Yorg's spear. It's interesting that we get the spear of Yorg, which stabs Sin from Sin's soul. She's just toxic? Okay, listen, I know it's a funny reference, but you're hearing what I'm saying, right?
Wow, the fate of these ladies is all tragic. Except for her, she's such a toxic biatch.
Like, excuse me? Like,
yeah, it's... fuck that one in particular. They're all evil.
Alana is just the wrath of a woman who lost her love. The dragon's all she has left of it. True, but also, the worship of the dragon, because really, if you look at it, so, okay, spear wielded by Sir Yorg during his invasion of the Sanctum City. After his defeat of the Sunken King, Sir Yorg pierced Sin, the slumbering dragon, with his spear to claim its blood. But Sin immediately awoke, spewing a poisonous fog that blanketed the city in death, and Sir Yorg disappeared into the Eternal Sanctum. So, and then, hang on, we have her weapon as well. I remember. Here we go. The wrathful axe, soul of Alana, squalid queen. An armament forged from the soul of Alana, child of dark. When the abyss dissipated, the things that called it home were fragmented and scattered across the realm. Eventually, these pieces regained form in ways that hinted at humanity's true nature. So this is sort of why we know where these came from. We know that the abyss dissipated because the chosen undead killed Manus, the origin of the father of the abyss in Dark Souls 1 DLC. And we know what happened because it was in the past, and we play Dark Souls 1, which is in that future, and the abyss is dissipated. So this is canon. It has to have happened. And this is how we know that this is what the daughters are, basically. People always assume the worst of the children of dark ladies. Yeah, it's actually really sad. I think singing for that long would suck a very sore throat. It would, but she still does it. Like, she still sings. Like, she does it because her husband worshipped the dragon, and then he died protecting it. And so, with the king dead, the queen does what the king wanted all along, which was to protect the dragon. The sanctum, the city, the people didn't really matter as much to the Sunken King as the dragon. So that's what Alana does. She protects the dragon. kind of weird dealing with consequences of our own actions type of situation. Kind of, because all of the kings, except for the Iron King, because he never met Nadalia, all three of the kings who met their queens knew exactly what their queens were. They all knew. Vendrick straight up says that he knew. Also, what's interesting is that while they are fragments, Nadalia is described as having a powerful soul, which is interesting because that suggests that the others were powerful too, even though Nashandra... Alsana specifically mentions that she was weak, but it might be her fear making her think that she was, because fear, no matter how powerful you are, can make you feel weak. So it's interesting, was she actually weak or did she just feel that way? Either way, all of them are a fragment of one of like the primeval human and thus have immense power in the dark. And that boosted the strength of the souls of their kings, like a yin and yang situation, like a perfect balance. And both of them gained something in the exchange. Now, with some, it almost, like there was love, at least some of the cases. We know for sure that Bendrick loved Nashandra, probably vice versa. Alana seems to have loved Sunken King. And Alsana, same thing. Bendrick didn't know the entire time, though. Still, he says that, yeah, I figured what she was, and he just kept doing what he was doing. That's kind of the thing. Like, they knew and they still kept on. That's kind of a very key part. The characters know what they're doing. And Vendrick is only one of three that met their queen. The others likely knew. Alsana at some point, I think, says that she told the king what she was, and he was like, yeah, I know. And he was completely cool with it. It's one of those, like, she tried to tell him, but he already knew. And it's actually really sweet in its own way. Like, they all knew. And I think the Sunken King might have known even more than the others because his servants, his armor servants in the Eternal Sanctum straight up use the dark in their crossbows. It's very much they use regular bolts and they also use dark bolts. So he used the strength of his queen very effectively and likely knew about it. All of them knew. But once again, the Sunken King, his main thing was worshipping a dragon over caring about his own people. He didn't defend his city from invasion to protect his city. He did it to protect the dragon. Just the dragon. Only the dragon. That was his biggest priority. So when he fell, Alana sought vengeance.
Come again.
And also to do what he wanted, which was to protect the dragon. That's the only other thing. This child of dark accompanies the dragon, slowly amassing souls in anticipation of the coming day of vengeance. Now that we know that York killed her husband, what else could there be to get vengeance for? So I think that's the thing, is it's very easy to be like, oh, Alana, wrathful, angry, poison, dragon, she sang to a dragon, and just sort of miss the rest of it. But like, the rest of it is that the king prioritized the dragon over absolutely anything else. And that was his biggest care. So by protecting the dragon, Alana is doing what her king wanted. That's pretty much the crux of it all. The dragon emerged, purged the entire city, blanketed it in poison, killed almost everybody in it, destroyed it, but the dragon's alive. So Alana's doing what the king wanted. Really that simple. And now we're on to the final DLC. The one that really, this one simply cannot be misunderstood. You know, like the others, you can be like, well, still evil though. Well, no, still evil. Well, still evil. Alsana cannot be seen as evil by like any metric. She's the one that always makes people go, well, she's just the exception. Well, I'm afraid she is not. Challenge accepted? I'm gonna ban you. Sunken King was just an extreme wildlife preservationist? No self-respecting wildlife preservationist would build such a massive kingdom by the wildlife's home. False. What's up, Chris? You're not too late for lore. We're actually just about to start Ivory King. Ow. Ow. Lore reason for those weird salamander creatures in the bottom of the sunken city. Yeah, that's the thing. The, what are those called? The imperfect? So I always figured those were made by the Sunken King. Considering we also know that he put souls into armor. And he was obsessed with dragons. And what's implied by someone obsessed with dragons and imperfect suggests to me imperfect dragons. So I think they might be one of his creations, but you could also argue that Nadalia, sorry, I keep saying Nadalia today, Alana, whose main means of combat is summoning things, could have created them too. Because they do live in the mire. Why am I thick rolling now? What did I do? Oh, the crown is too heavy. It's too bad. I really like the Sunken King crown. It's pretty. We're gonna have a problem with this moveset. Oh no. I need a vertical. Or sorry, I need a horizontal. Yeah, this is the Fume Ultra Great Sword. Yo, Cash by Johnny Cash, welcome back. Thank you so much for 6 months. So I play Control. I love that game. We'll be back to Control tomorrow. We're alternating. We're back on that alternating schedule behavior. I really like it so far too. I was actually really excited to continue playing it, except for the tech issues, but that's just PC games for me, unfortunately. Oh, this is a Demon Souls weapon. It says right here that Fume Knight made it. So, with his soul? So I don't know. I don't know about that. Trespassers will face adversity befitting a monarch. I love these. Elaine Lois, land of the Ivory King, lies cold as death, nary a hint of warmth remaining. I wonder where we're going. Forbidden is the path to the ancient king's domain. With water dry and path amiss, woeful temptation is dismissed. All of them say this, except each of them have one unique thing. This one refers to the specific DLC you'll be going to. Go one-handed? I think I am one-handed. It just, I need a horizontal. Yeah, we learned this last time. It's just vertical, so I might have to change back. Hey, that's pretty cool. I can do that. Second one hand is a sweep horizontal. The problem is I learned this last time, but like getting 2 R1s in is simply unheard of. Which FromSoft game is the best DLC? Bloodborne or Dark Souls 2? See, I like Old Hunters the best, but in terms of quality and quantity both, Dark Souls 2 has like so much cool lore in it, man. Roller backstep is a sweep. Yeah, but I don't use roller backstep attacks. You know this. Open the door. We're probably going to switch back to the light weapon that lets me actually have a pretty crown on. I simply like to R1 once because you don't have much more time to do more in this game. I'm a very simple individual. Wow, this is such a cool bridge. I bet nothing will happen if I walk up and down it. Oh, shit.
Turn back. The old chaos hungers still.
I love this voice acting. I love this very, very much because the moment we walk up, this place obviously frozen, there's a flash and suddenly look at these tendrils. Like, what is this coming out at us? It looks like a tree, but a purely frozen tree reaching out at us as if to grab. And then we hear the voice that tells us to turn back and the old chaos. So you're probably going to think, oh, that's like the evil Ice Queen who's preventing me from progressing. And that's what's going on. She's threatening me. I have to ignore the evil Ice Queen. That's not what's going on at all. Frozen Aleum Lois. Ooh, it's so windy. The only ice zone I like. Okay, also the one in Bloodborne too. Canehurst Castle. This isn't any Liam. How dare you?
Always, won't you? Go back.
I wonder what will happen if we go in here. Scary cat growling sounds are in here. I wonder if there's some sort of growling cat. Well, I guess we're going in. I am gonna sacrifice these souls, it's fine. Okay.
Poor Arthur. Do you miss your king?
Aww.
One without the sign has arrived. Do be merciful and end things swiftly.
I love her voice because she seems as if she's like ominous and creepy, but since she's very sincere with what she's saying right now. Well, I don't see anything, so must be fine. I'm not worried about that. Oh no, is this an invisible boss? What? How could Dark Souls 2 do this? Lazy devs. But no, I absolutely love the introduction to Aleum Lois because it's very much using our own assumptions, and frankly, our own assumptions are evil queen and turning it on their head. And that's what's so really interesting. Oh no, I'm dead by the invisible boss. Murder them but be gentle, very kind of her. It is though, genuinely. She is doing something, and the guard cats are all fulfilling a role. I actually love how this looks like an eye. I love this. Is this intentional or is it just like weird lighting? I don't think I've ever seen this before, but it looks like an eye. It's so cool. The king's poet at first? No. But yeah, her asking, do you miss your king? Like, probably. She misses her king. Bunch of icy boys. Yeah, see, the second R2 just... I so rarely get it to actually work. Wow. I can't believe in this chat we're getting cats don't actually care about you slander. Cats tend to care about one person who's their favorite, and everyone else is spare. And these were working cats. They prevent you know, like vermin from getting in. It just so happens that we are vermin. Like, sucks, but too bad you're vermin. Sounds like a bunch of non-favorites in chat. Devastating. Seriously though, you know the king was a good dude because he was a cat person. Cats are not only very respectable creatures, but also, like, it takes a lot to understand cats, because too many people are like, cats are psychopathic. They don't like you. They don't care about you. They will just eat you if you die and all this stuff. And it's like, to understand a cat and to get a particularly giant cat to be your friend, that guy had Riz. Since Ava listens to Alsana? Not really. Ava's a guard cat. She's doing exactly what she was doing for the king still to this day. You couldn't see it because she was invisible, but she's just chilling on the front porch, and then when you come in, she jumps down. She's basically guarding the house from vermin. Is your YouTube chat up? Yeah, it is. What's up? Oh, is it frozen? Hang on. Oh. Oh, wow. It totally broke down. Hang on, let me reset. Yeah, I think it bugged out. 1 second, because I see it now. It didn't update. Okay, listen. I know my internet's working. I'm streaming right now. You can't gaslight me, YouTube chat. Oh, man. Love the sound the retainers make when they die is so funny. I think they use the same sound in Bloodborne. Okay, YouTube is just, like, down right now. I can't get it to open. Rob said so many hilarious things in YouTube chat. I'm devastated. I thought it was just being quiet. Am I still live on YouTube? Because it's actively... I can't even open it right now. Oh my god. Oh my god. What the fuck? What was even...